I think we treated Joe Biden like shit. Like, people just treated Joe Biden like absolute trash, and for what? Nothing. The man just got old. That's literally all he's guilty of. He got old. And people, they're like, oh my God, have you seen Joe Biden these days? He's so old. You're like, yeah. That's what happens. You get older as a person. I can't believe how old he is. I'm like, yo, when you voted for him, it's not like he was 20. People make it seem like he pulled like a magic trick and then all of a sudden flipped into an old man. He came in as an old man, and then now he was a slightly older man, and people are like, oh my God, I can't believe him. Why does he think he can be president? Because you told him he could. People were so shitty to Joe Biden. Then they were just like pulling at strings. I mean, like, God, you see the other day he forgot. He like forgot where he was. He said the wrong city. He said Rotterdam. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, people do that all the time, especially when you're older. Yeah, because think of it this way. It's not even about like old as in your brain is like, is degrading. Think about how much information you have consumed by that point in your life. Think about how many names you've heard, how many places you've been, how many stories. Of course some things are going to get jumbled up. It's like, yeah, the person's old. He was just old. That's all Joe Biden is. He's old. You'd be like, yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. It's not that. My grandmother, my grandfather, they would forget or switch my name with my siblings' names all the time. I'm sure you had that. Right? They're just like, my grandmother, sometimes she'd be like, Andrew. And I'll be like, no, Trevor. And she'd be like, Yeah, when she did that, there was no point where I was like, she needs to step down. She's not fit to be my grandmother anymore. We treat old people like such shit in society. It's like we make it like they're disposable. It's like, you're old. All right, get out of the way. You're old now. It's over. He just got old. Yeah, and yes, the things that he did, obviously, they don't make you comfortable. Don't get me wrong. Like, they'll throw you off. So, for instance, one of the big ones was he was at the G20, right? And he was introducing President Zelensky of Ukraine. And then he said,
it gives me a lot of pleasure to introduce to you right now the president of one of the most powerful presidents. I'm honored to introduce Vladimir Putin. Oh, no. I mean, and people are like, no, Joe, he's not fit to run this country.
I was like, yeah, he made a mistake. Think about how many times he says Putin, how many times he says... It's not like he said like a random... It's not like he was like, Idi Amin. No. He said, I get it, Putin, you know what I mean? Yeah, that can happen to you. It's a brain fart. And then people said the dumbest thing. Someone said to me, they were like, well, Trevor, what if it gets into a situation where he does something really bad? Like, he could make a mistake like that, and he could bomb the wrong country. I was like, do you know how countries work? What do you mean he could bomb the wrong country? What, you think just Joe Biden's there with the keys to the jet? And he's just like, I gotta pop out and do something real quick. I gotta fly to Eastern Europe. And he's like, take that, Ukraine. No! I meant Russia! You know how much bureaucracy exists between Joe Biden and a country being bombed? Like, if he said, we gotta bomb Ukraine, they'd be like, you mean Russia? They'd be like, oh yeah, I mean Russia, of course. It's not like it just happens. It's not a thing. We treated him like such trash. He's like an old man, trying to fight for his country. That's all he was doing. And here's the thing, forget the politics. It was just like the old thing that was like, I was like, why are we doing this, man? The guy's just old. He's not as sharp as he used to be. That's life. It's going to happen to all of us, hopefully. If you get there, it'll happen to you. I'm like, Joe Biden, trash. And look, I will be fair and I will be honest. I think what didn't help was that his team didn't acknowledge that he was getting older. I don't think that helps. And that is a problem I have with like a lot of American political spin. They try and tell you that what you're seeing is not what you're seeing. So like Joe Biden he'd be like, and then people would be like, yo, he's getting older. And his team would be like, Joe Biden is not getting older at all. In fact, he's younger than he's ever been. We're like, that's not how numbers work. The man is just getting older and older and older. Just say, yes, he's old. Just say he's old. Because yeah, he was making some mistakes. One of the ones that one of the big ones that threw people off was he would repeatedly bring up world leaders that he had recently had. Look at this room. Everyone is here tonight. We've got politicians, we've got the media, we've got celebrities, basically anyone who's been to Jeffrey Epstein's island. This is an exclusive event. In fact, coming in, I heard Meghan McCain telling the bouncer, "Do you know who my father was?" And they were like, "You have a ticket, you can just come in." But she insisted on telling them who her father was anyway. And I'll tell you, as somebody coming from Africa, I mean, I've just got to say, this is so exciting, to be at this swanky party full of Washington's most powerful people. It's not as exciting as Madison Cawthorn made it sound, but still very sexy. Very, very sexy. There's many big names here tonight. Yeah, one of my favorites, Ron DeSantis, is here. Yeah. Oh, man, I'm actually surprised that he found the time. He's been so busy trying to outmaneuver Trump for 2024. I see you, Ron. I see you, Flair. Yeah, I've seen what you've been doing, blaming Trump for the lockdowns, distancing yourself from the vaccines that Trump created with his own 2 hands. Nobody knew how to make vaccines until I made them. Beautiful, beautiful vaccines. Nobody knew how. Not even Fauci. But Ron is playing it coy, man. He won't even tell people if he got the booster, yeah. Or as they say in Florida, don't ask, don't tell. Am I right? I see you, Ron. You see, what I like about Ron DeSantis is like, if Trump was the original Terminator, DeSantis is like the T-1000. You're smarter than him. You're slicker than him. You can walk down ramps. Yeah. Because you see, no, Trump said he won the election, but everyone was just able to look at the numbers and see that he was wrong. That's why Ron DeSantis is one step ahead. First, you ban the math textbooks. Then, nobody knows how to count the votes. Boom! My man! Ha, ha, ha! What a room! Are you kidding me? The great chef, Jose Andres, is joining us here tonight. Give it up for him, people. My good friend in the room. Whenever there's a disaster anywhere in the world, Chef Jose is there. Which I guess is why he's sitting at the CNN table tonight. Now, of course, the real reason that it's such an honor to be here tonight is that we all get to be in the same room as the most powerful man in the United States. So let's give it up for Joe Manchin, everybody. Where is he? Is he there? Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. No, for real, Mr. President. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having me here. I was a little confused about why me. But then I was told that you get your highest approval ratings when a biracial African guy is standing next to you, so so let me just say, Joe, I'm glad that I could do my part, and hopefully this will work. I'm not actually him, I just did the voice. More importantly, First Lady Dr. Jill Biden is here, everybody. Give it up for her. Interesting fact, even as First Lady, Dr. Biden continued her teaching career. Yeah, the first time a presidential spouse has ever done so. Ever. Congratulations. Now, you might think it's because she loves teaching so much, but it's actually because she's still paying off her student debt. I'm sorry about that, Jill. Yeah, I guess you should have voted for Bernie. So can I just say, I think everyone will agree that it's actually nice to once again have a president who's not afraid to come to the White House Correspondents' Dinner and hear jokes about himself. I'll be honest. If you didn't come, I totally would have understood. Yeah, because these people have been so hard on you, which I don't get. I really don't. I think ever since you've come into office, things are really looking up. Gas is up, rent is up, food is up, everything. No, it really has been a tough first year for you, Mr. President. And surely you must be a little worried about 2024. There's a lot of passion on the Republican side. There really is. It's going to be an interesting time. And as you all know, President Biden's lack of a filter does get him into hot water sometimes. Last month he caused a huge international incident saying that Vladimir Putin should be removed from power. It was very, very upsetting to Russia. Yeah, until someone explains to them that none of the stuff Biden wants actually gets done.